Here are two tips and one advice by Rajesh for aspiring entrepreneurs. 1. How do you find what you love to do?
To find your passion is, I think it's a very fundamental thing. In order to find something, first of all, you have to step back and say that I'm willing to look. If you're not willing to look, you can't find anything, right? So I think the first step is, am I open to looking, or I am open to just settling? If you're open to settling, you will put your head down and you're settled, right? I mean, then you're not looking out. But if you're not settled, you're looking out, you're finding different things, the chances are that you will find your passion pretty soon. So, and when you're always in pursuit of something, in pursuit of looking, you will find your passion, or you will find your calling, you will find that idea of what you want to do. And when you are in that pursuit personally, and I share that idea a lot, that you always will have this theoretical list going on in your head of I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I want to do this. So there are like the don't haves, and the do haves. So when you when you meet people, when you get excited about various ideas or situations which you want to contribute to in a certain way, you will always have this thing at the end of the day. Hey, okay, I've thought about it. I don't like this. I don't like. I think there are so many rejections in that thought in your mind that finally you're left with few choices, or one or two choices or three choices that you like. And I think out of those choices, you can always narrow down to which are those that you really like. I think, and that is true for pretty much everything in life, isn't it? I mean, friends, selection, relationships, everything, right? This food, I don't like this, I do like this. And you go to that and you suddenly see that I really enjoy that food. I really enjoy that friend of mine. All of that. So I think that's the basic mantra for finding that passion as well. So it clearly, I think it clearly defines certain people who want to feel that, I'm settled. I don't want to look out. I don't want to even, I'm unwilling to experiment. People who are unwilling to experiment, unwilling to change, adaptations would probably never find their passions. I don't think passion will fall into their laps. Um, they're very rare. But we are talking about the other ones who need to keep looking for that passion, um, and who need to be willing to change, and who are willing to actually push that status quo, that okay, this is done, I want to do something very different here, and that will set the calling button on for everybody.
2. Being street smart.
And I think the startups need to be street smart. I think that's a very important focus. If you want a successful startup, you need to be street smart as a founder, founding teams. Which means, what does street smartness mean? Street smartness means that you, of course, are passionate and gritty. Second is that you are changing, adapting very fast to the changing business models of what the market throws at you, whether it's a pandemic, whether it is something else, whether it is you want to do something in India, for example, and the political environment is something else. How do you pivot fast? What are the tricks that you have in your bag? And these are tricks of operational tricks, tricks in your product, tricks in your offerings, tricks how you market your product. So I think those are far important things for me as a founder. And I think if the founder continues to do that over time, that defines the grit portion very, very wisely, right? I mean, he is resilient to sort of make those adaptations very.
And the advice is remember your focus, which is creating a profitable business.
Somewhere along the line, they forget that their objective is not to raise funds and be successful in how much money have you raised. But I think at the fundamental level, sometimes we forget that our basic idea of starting up was to create a profitable company which would make some difference and which would make some meaning. And that's the reason sort of decided to do a startup. So I think along this line, depending on who you are, what your business plan is, what your business model is, funding is important. Um, I think how do you get that funding? Sometimes people think that when I get into a YC call or a YC cohort, it's just I've arrived, and because it's just an early stage, you have to raise so many rounds. The business models will pivot. So I think fundamentals are very, very important. Um, so misconception of just getting into an accelerator means success is a very big misconception.
I hope you enjoy the short insights from Rajesh. If you'd like to check out the full video, please check out the link. See you there.